incorporated. So in MaitriBodh Parivaar, what we believe, the holistic health of a person is based on 4 pillars: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And all these 4 aspects will be taken care in transformation.
Hi everyone. Today we have with us Dr. Santosh Gupta, who is also known by his blessed name Mitra Sut. He is a consultant neuroradiologist at Hinduja Hospital, Mumbai, and member of MaitriBodh Parivaar. He has done his fellowships from Henry Ford Hospital, Detroit, UCSF, California, and MGH Boston, USA. Dr. Gupta's special interest lies in advanced neuroimaging such as fMRI, diffusion, 3D tractography, brain connectivity in emotional and spiritual states. He has more than 50 publications and presentations in national and international conferences and is a DNB teacher. He is also the principal investigator of the original research, imaging, and neuropsychological changes in brain with spiritual practice. Although a doctor by profession, he is on a profound spiritual and transformative journey under the grace and guidance of his master, Maitreya Dadashreeji. Maitreya Dadashreeji is a social reformer and the founder of the organization MaitriBodh Parivaar. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Gupta, and I really look forward to our conversation. To begin with, I would like to ask the very first question. Could you please share the journey of MaitriBodh Parivaar Charitable Trust with us?
Yeah, thank you, Ishaji, for that kind introduction. So we are basically nothing but a family of friends, and our common purpose is to develop, nurture, and strengthen human bond and friendship in the entire world. So this is done with the help of something which we very strongly feel is the need of the time, which is a transformation. And for this transformation, we have our founder visionary of MaitriBodh Parivaar, Maitreya Dadashreeji. This MaitriBodh Parivaar was found in 2013, but Dadashreeji has been working on this for many, many years, even before that. Maitreya Dadashreeji, to explain in brief, he is a global humanitarian, a social reformer, and a transformational pioneer. And as we go along, I will try to give a clarity on why we call him a transformational pioneer. And a very important thing, what he has been wanting to do is to apply both spirituality and selfless service, a combination of the two, to help the mankind. He has successfully been able to integrate spirituality into modern concepts and how it can be practically applied in daily life. So the vision of MaitriBodh Parivaar is basically to bring in a human transformation, which is by establishing love in everyone's heart. And eventually the purpose is that we all of us, irrespective of whichever background we are, beliefs, caste, country, whatever that we have differences, everyone comes together as one world, one family, and one truth.
All right. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I think the entire idea is very profound and very interesting to think about, this combination that you talked about, the spirituality and, integrating it into the modern world and the lifestyle. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you for sharing that. And to move further, I would like to ask that you have been working on a transformation project and that you have mentioned also. So could you please shed some light on that? What is the vision behind that?
An important question. So the word transformation, we all understand in brief, but what here we are trying to tell, I'll just try to explain, giving an example. So, a caterpillar is like a small little worm, which sits on few leaves and it just keeps eating those leaves. So for a caterpillar, that is what the life is, just sitting on those few leaves, very limited, with a very small vision, and confined to just feeding itself selfishly. But the caterpillar does not know that one fine day it is supposed to become a butterfly and fly, isn't it? So this is what transformation is. As we all know, the current times and even otherwise, all of us, we have our own blocks. We all limit ourselves. We don't have a vision. We don't have a broad understanding about life. So transformation is exactly like becoming a butterfly, where you will sail through life, where you will be able to understand yourself and others very well. So there are 3 important aspects when you get into this experience of transformation, which is an ongoing journey. First thing, what will happen is that you will become a good human being. whereby you will be able to understand another person. Right now, if you see, there is so much of animosity, so much of differences, even brothers fight amongst themselves. So these differences will completely go away. There'll be no malice. There'll be an all-inclusiveness. Second thing, what will happen when one experiences transformation is one will free oneself from the past. One will become completely open-minded. See, right now, if you see, we are all worried about so many blocks, that hurtful memories, something happened in the past, and we are stuck because of that, isn't it? Also, there is always an anxiety of what will happen in the future, especially in the current times, because the economy is uncertain. When the next COVID pandemic, new mutation of the virus will come, we just don't know. So much uncertainty is there. We forget that what we have with us is this current moment. So with transformation, you will be able to live life with complete open-mindedness. And the third very, very beautiful thing which happens is that somewhere you will get an internal guidance. You will get a way to decide for yourself what is good, what is not good, what is right, what is not right, what is truth and what is not truth, what is untruth. You know, these situations in our life comes where we have to take very, very important decisions, isn't it? And we don't know what to do. We don't have anybody to guide us. It could be a very simple thing or sometimes very drastic thing. Every step, every decision that we make creates our future, isn't it? The choices that we create. So if you have an internal guidance, it's like, you know, having a compass within. A compass always points towards the north. In the same way, the spiritual discernment or this internal guidance, which will be awakened because of this transformation, will always guide us towards our good, towards something which is positive. So in short, when you get transformed, you experience love, harmony, and an absolute freedom, which is exactly the opposite of what currently majority of people in the world are experiencing.
Right. I think you have put it out very beautifully, this entire journey behind the transformation. And it's very required, especially because we are living in very uncertain times. Thanks for putting that. And on the similar note, since we are talking about this transformation, I would also like to ask that how the transformation project is related to the mental health and the holistic well-being of an individual.
To understand that what we are doing in MaitriBodh Parivaar and what is the vision behind this transformation, how it is going to help in the current time is extremely important. So let's see what is happening first in the current time. So, you know, in a medical doctor, I can give you thousands of examples of how people are going through an undue stress. If you see the statistics, it is said that, now this is a 2017 statistics, which says that 1 in every 7 Indians is undergoing some kind of a mental disorder. If we look at the rate of suicide, in the entire world, the global suicide, we know that the suicide rates are going drastically up, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. So there is a data which is available of 2016, which states that amongst the entire suicide in the entire world, from India, the burden is around 26.6%, which is a very high number. If you see more data, you know, the Indian Journal of Psychiatry in 2020, April, it published that because of COVID-19 pandemic, the people who actually took part in this study, the percentage, 21% people live in the fear that they are going to die because of the COVID virus. So you see, this is not a good state to live in fear, to live in uncertainty, which is not the way a human being has been designed for. The pandemic has not just been physically affecting everybody. We have been affected to our core, our mental health, our emotional health. Everything has been affected. You know, I can give you examples. Like, I have a psychologist friend who works with me in the Hinduja hospital. She says small kids, they don't get virus infection, but then they see the fear in the parents and they come because of certain disorders, psychological disorders. And she's saying her entire, OPD is full of children getting fears of different kinds because, you know, they are seeing such dreadful things. Things are better now, but we really don't know when a new mutation will come or something else which will happen. So overall, what we are seeing is not a good state, isn't it? Similar example, let's take now, what are we doing for the virus, protection against the virus? We are talking about physical hygiene. We are talking about good medical care. But is that sufficient is the question. The virus is not just about physically affecting the lungs or different organs in the body. It is 101% affecting our mental and emotional health. And that is something which is not been addressed by many. Things are just, springing up now. People are just waking up to what this virus is doing, not just physical, but also mental and emotional health. And this is where the vision of MaitriBodh Parivaar is to help people in a holistic health. And we believe that, it is not going to be the end. The COVID-19 pandemic is just one thing. There are possible more things which might come in future, which requires for all of us to be internally strengthened, and the ideal word to be a transformed human being, to be able to face those challenges and move ahead smoothly in life. So this is where the role of MaitriBodh Parivaar comes to help in experiencing that transformation. So, we wear a mask, right? A mask to protect us from the virus. In the same way, we require something to protect our mental and emotional health. And that will be provided by experiencing this transformation. In MaitriBodh Parivaar, what we believe the holistic health of a person is based on 4 pillars: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And all these 4 aspects will be taken care in transformation. So the transformation project is basically going to address the holistic health of a person and not just the physical health. If you see most of the projects which are there out right now, I'm not telling all of them, but quite a few of them, they will address a few things. They will provide, say, for example, somebody, if there is a whole lot of people who are not having food, you go and give food, right? Or you give medicines, or you maybe give home constructions, you can provide them with jobs. But that is not sufficient. In order that one lives a happy life, one has to be strengthened from within, both mentally, emotionally, and a third thing, spiritually, which is what transformation will do. So this is what we aim, that through this project of transformation, we will be helping everybody holistically. So currently we already have a worldwide transformation program, which is an online program, which is already like one batch is over from January 2021. We started, it's already ongoing, and a second batch has started in January 2022. And we intend to actually start residential program, which is where the important part will come to help one to experience this transformation through our residential program.
So first of all, thank you for highlighting the importance of mental health and the other pillars that has been now coming into the light, because as you said, most of us believe that health is all about our physical health, and we usually ignore the mental and the spiritual part of it. And nowadays, since the uncertainty is increasing and because of our lifestyle stress, a lot of mental health disorders, mental issues have started arising. But since the lifestyle, we just do not pay enough attention on our own self, and we just keep doing, and one day we just collapse. So for that, it's absolutely essential that we focus on all the key 4 pillars that you have described to make for the holistic overall well-being of an individual. They are very, very important. Similar note, I would like to ask that what are some of the scientific evidences or research to support the claims that you have made?
Yeah, so a very important thing is to ask, how this transformation will happen. So the intervention or the key component which helps in experiencing this transformation is called as Maitri Shakti Prabha. This is a very powerful spiritual process, a transformational energy transfer process, we call it, which helps one to experience a state by removing our internal blocks, our own emotional baggages and blocks which are within, so that we are able to experience ourself, our own inner self. Having said this, this becomes like a spiritual concept, and we wanted to show a biological evidence, some kind of a proof that some change is happening. First of all, before talking about the scientific proof, it's actually very difficult to scientifically prove many of our internal states or our internal experiences based on the tools that we have in science, because scientific tools are meant for certain physical parameters, but internal states are very difficult to prove it or document. In in spite of that, we tried through different methods. So we did a research, pilot study initially, which has already been published in a medical journal called IJMR in the October 2018 issue. And we had done this as a pilot project where there were young, healthy males who underwent a spiritual process called as Shakti Prava, Maitri Shakti Prava, or this transformational energy transfer process. So we evaluated these people before and after by certain tests. So the tests which were used were functional MRI of the brain, then to see blood circulation in the brain, and we did a neuropsychology study. These three parameters were studied in them. Then they underwent this Maitri Shakti Prava, which helps in transformation. And 3 months down the line, we again evaluated the same test and saw before and after, the difference between what their readings were before and after. And we also had a control group to see the difference again, right? So otherwise it doesn't make, the study doesn't make any sense unless we also have a control group. So what we found, to just state in brief, so in the functional MRI, we evaluated the brain functions through some very important test, which is called as resting state functional MRI, which requires a very high-end software to see what is happening in the brain connectivity, to make it simple. And what we found is that there's an area in the brain which is called as a precuneus, which is an emotional center. It is the hub of, it is a hub which controls many other centers of the brain. It is the hub which is actually the area where lies meta-awareness, the awareness of awareness. So this area got increased connection after receiving Shakti Prava in the participants who received the Maitri Shakti Prava. Then in the blood circulation, we use a test called as single photon emission computerized tomography, or it is called as the Spec Scan, which analyzes brain perfusion. So what we found is in the participants who underwent Shakti Prava, their brain circulation in the frontal lobes, the front areas, which are very important for higher functions. That is why we are human beings, because the front area of our brain is larger as compared to animals. And we utilize this higher functions, because of which we are able to dominate the entire animal kingdom, and we are ruling this earth. So those area got increased brain blood circulation following Shakti Prava. And lastly, very interestingly, the neuropsychology, what we found is that the cognition, the cognitive processing speed, cognition or the cognitive processing speed of the individuals who receive Shakti Prava increase, they were able to have a better decision making and sharper mental faculties. But we have tests for all of these things. So for cognition, we did many tests and we realized that the cognition has improved. Same thing for decision making, we have various tests, and for sharper mental faculties. So there were, I think, around 18 to 20 tests the individuals had to undergo before and after. And from those tests, we concluded that these were the improvement. So if you see overall, all the participants, what was documented through the research, they found themselves to be a better human being who could face what they said, we had made them write their own internal state. So they said they experienced a different kind of a calmness. Not that the problems in their life reduced. Problems came in their life. But after receiving Shakti Prava 3 months down the line, they said they got an internal strength to be able to face those challenges, and in a very calm way. And we are in touch with them still. This is in 2017-18 when we did this research. In fact, recently we have published an article in Life Positive magazine where these individuals were again interviewed to see what is happening to them now since 2017 when the study was started. So since then, till now, and you can read this interview, it is available in the January 2022 issue of Life Positive magazine, which is online available on Shakti Prava. So there these participants have beautifully conveyed what they are experiencing in the current time. So in short, this is what Shakti Prava does. And right now we are also doing another project where, so this was initially a pilot study, what I just described. We are doing a large scale study of 400 participants where we are giving the Shakti Prava online, because COVID pandemic produced a completely different challenge. We could not give the Shakti Prava physically because this is given physically, but now this was not possible during the COVID pandemic. So it was given online through a process, and we have just got the results in, I mean, just 20 days back, we got our results. So we have finished around 423 participants. The data we have got and the data what we have analyzed, we are yet to write up the article and publish, and they are amazing results. We found that their emotional well-being scale drastically improved in many parameters after receiving Shakti Prabha. So in short, like this is really going to transform an individual to a very profound state with a lot of internal mental and emotional strength to face any challenges in life.
It's great you sharing that, and I feel that backing up any claim by scientific evidences, you have mentioned lots of different tests and studies. It makes it more reliable and more wholesome to say and precise, though, because scientific claims are very important and essential to conduct any sort of study or to come to any decision. So that was absolutely great, and that brings me to the last question for today. And I would like to ask that please share more details about the transformational center that you are planning to construct in the future.
Yes. As you see that we already till now what we understood is what is this transformation, what is the need for this transformation, right? The holistic health of an individual, the holistic well-being, not just physical, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual. In order to provide that to the humanity, which is the need of the current time, we also saw why it is. So Dadashreeji believes that everyone should be able to experience this transformation so that one can face the upcoming times. So although we are doing online the programs, it is not going to be easy unless we physically do these processes. In order to change us, to transform us, to bring about changes and transform us from within, it requires very intense physical processes, which will be done through our program, which is a residential program, which is a 7-day program, is what Maitreya Dadashreeji wants to introduce, where people will stay in one place. And this place is already been identified, which we are going to call it as the Maitri Center of Transcendence and Transformation, MCTT. And already there is a land which we have purchased, and it is in Karjat near the Bhimashankar Hills. So Dadashreeji always believed that any kind of learning or any kind of processes, any kind of intense experiences that we need to do through sessions, the best way is to do it in a place where we are connected to the earth, where we are feeling one with the nature. And this is exactly the place where with a lot of hard work was found in the foothills of Bhimashankar Hills, and very amazing place with beautiful energies. And the whole construction, what has been envisioned is to keep in alliance with nature. But for all this, we require funds, and that is the next important thing which we are coming to, is that the project requires a huge amount of funding to be able to take care of not just a few people, but for the entire humanity, which is what the vision of Maitreya Dadashreeji is, of MaitriBodh Parivaar is, to help everybody to experience this transformation. So this 7-day residential program will continuously keep happening around the year. So you can imagine that amount of funding, amount of arrangements which will be needed to go smoothly throughout the year. This project is eligible for CSR funding under the promotion of healthcare, including preventive healthcare. And participants, whoever will come, will be able to experience and accelerate their journey to become a very internally happy and experiencing a very high emotional and mental health within, to be able to face the world. So in short, the residential program, what we are envisioning to have this in a very beautiful place where everyone from all parts of the world can come and experience this transformation. The the current state of many of us who are living in the state of fear and uncertainty. We want to move from that state to experience a state of love, harmony, and absolute freedom. And that is what this Center of Transcendence and Transformation, the Maitri Center, MCTT, will provide to everyone, whoever wants to come and experience this higher state of love, absolute freedom, and harmony with everyone, so that we all come together as one world, one family, and one truth.
Thank you for sharing that so beautifully. And I would say that, I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your thoughts, your insights, and the entire journey and experiences, your personal experiences, along with the experiences that you have had with MaitriBodh Parivaar Trust. So it was an absolute pleasure to interact with you. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isha.